Chasing Sunshine by Veronica here. I am going to upcycle an old worn out dresser. It's going to start off as this tattered, black, wore out, beat down, left for nothing dresser. And it's going to turn out like that. If you're interested in watching the process, come along. So the first thing I do when I start a piece is I decide what type of embellishments I might want to put on it. And for this one I decided I want to put some molds on it. So I got my IOD mold with some paper clay, little tool I got there at a secondhand store, and I just pressed it in firmly and popped it right out, and that's what you get. I then applied it to the dresser after I had washed it and cleaned it, and quickly moved on to the paint. For this paint, basically it is a homemade dab and dust, I'm calling it. It's 2 parts baking soda, 1 part table salt mixed into your paint, and you just mix it until you get the desired consistency, and you dab it all over the piece. You could put 1 or 2 coats, whatever you need. That there is just 1 coat. Let it dry overnight, and I come back in with Dixie Belle Kutsu, a lint-free cloth, your spray bottle, and some water. I just used a basic chip brush that's been loved and used. It's just about perfect now. So basically what I do is I get the surface wet, I dilute that paint down pretty good, and I start putting it on. I quickly realized that I had grabbed the wrong color and change it up. I go back in with my Waverly paint, and I start that process all over again. So again, it's just a very diluted process of paint and water. Time for the third color, Dixie Belle Kutsu. It's a beautiful green color. It's basically going to resemble a copper patina. So there it is there. That's one of my favorite colors from Dixie Belle. I'm going to do the very same process I did with the lighter color there. Very diluted. Here I go. Day 3 on this dresser, and I'm gonna put some Dixie Belle Rusty Nail on it and kind of just go around the edges and the hardware and embellish it just a bit. Okay, let's get started. Okay, do it, baby. So again, I got my water. Some old chip brushes. This one's been used and abused, and it's about perfect now. If you guys watched my video last week, you'll remember that I did this little joy box, and I'm essentially trying to go for this look. A bigger version of this. So I'm just keeping this present for a little bit of inspiration. I'm debating whether or not to put a little more green in over here on the sides. I think I'm gonna go back with Kutsu, Dixie Belle. Shake it, shake it, shake it. This paint's so thick you really don't need to shake it. I just always shake everything, or I try to. I hate to contaminate my water because I don't want to go back downstairs and get more water. So I try to save any sort of little containers that I can. KFC, baby. So we went to the coast last weekend for Pete's sake, so it was just last weekend. And in Eureka, California, and there's a new KFC there, and I guess it's the first one that's ever been there. And seriously, there was, I mean, we didn't go there, but there was at least, I don't know, I might be exaggerating, but I want to say like 30 cars at least. I mean, it was similar to like you see in the In-N-Out burger for KFC. Who would have thunk? Okay, so I don't want to use that brush, so I'm just going to use this little brush that I had cut. I'm going to totally saturate it with water. Okay, totally saturate it, like get it drippy, drippy wet, and then I'm just going to go into the lid of Dixie-Belle paint here and get some on there. And so, I mean, I'm going to put quite a bit on there, but then I'm also going to go back into the water, drippy, 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 and just dip, 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 dip. Okay? I don't want like a all over coat. I want it to be random and beautiful. So that's what I'm going to do. Take my handy dandy lint-free cloth and just dab it, dab it, dab it. There you go. So much better. I like that so much better. So much better. Do a little bit more. Dabba, dabba, dabba. Dooba, dooba, dooba. And then instantly, before it like gets too runny, and just take some back. Sweet. Okay, I'm liking that. I'm liking it a lot. Well, now that I've done that, kind of feel like I want to just do a tiny bit more in here. I hate to I just keep going back and forth and doing the process over and over again, but that's kind of what you want to do to get the desired look. Too much, too much, too much. Okay. I'm going to get water on there, not that. I don't like the drippies, I don't like the drippies, don't like the drippies on this project too much. Okay. Digging that. If you wipe, then it's just going to go back to that very first base layer that I had on there. I don't want that. Don't want harsh lines, don't want harsh dabs. I want it very organic. Does that look organic to you? Hot piece sakes. So I'm super, super excited. Not next week, but the week after, myself and my other half are going down to Encinitas, California to Debbie's Design Diary. Yeah, the maker, the owner, the creator of DIY paint. We're going down to her workshop, her boot camp, DIY boot camp it's called. I guess they didn't have it last year because of COVID. And so they're having it this year. It's $1,000 for the class, and it's probably going to be about $1,000 for room and board. And I've never invested that much money into any sort of hobby craft. I mean, other than like supplies. Definitely, I've definitely sunk $1,000 into supplies before, but not into like training. I kind of just go about life training myself, kind of a DIYer like that. And I'm really excited. I'm so excited to meet Melanie from Windmill Vintage Design. She's super sweet. I've had a couple of interactions with her regarding orders that I've placed through her website, and just in general now. I feel like she's my bestie. It's kind of like a joke at home. It's cute. My other half is like, "Oh, are you texting your bestie?" I called her. So basically what had happened is I'd ordered a product and she didn't have it, and so she felt really bad, reached out to one of her friends friends that also sold the same paint, and or it was actually the Wise Owl salve, and had her send it to me. So she was just basically reaching out, letting me know, and just so kind. I love her so much. I mean, I love her personality. I don't know her, but I do enjoy watching her videos, and I think she's just an absolute sweetheart. You know how you meet people in life and before even really knowing them, you just know they're good people? That's what I feel about her. Anyway, so I'm really excited to meet her. She's going to be one of the teachers there, one of the instructors, and I'm really excited to meet her. I'm really excited to meet Debbie. I'm really excited to meet Jamie and Zev from Jamie Ray Vintage. They are pretty inspiring people too. They actually support like the 5-person family by doing what they love to do, and it's just super inspiring. And oh, what I was going to say about Melanie is so basically she had called me the day prior to the day that we actually talked, and I didn't know it, because you know how you get all these calls from random people and you just kind of like don't really you'd ignore them because you think that they're spammers, right? Okay, so that's what happened with her. So I didn't even answer the phone call. I didn't recognize the number. And then the next day, like I was commenting on one of her videos that she was doing live. I just contaminated my water. I hate it when I do that. Anyway, so she's like, "Oh, I just called you yesterday, girl. I need to talk to you." And I'm like, "Oh, I think you're talking about someone else. I don't think you're talking about me. I think that meant to be for someone else." And she's like, "No, I'm trying to talk to you." And I said, "Really?" And so she's like, "Can you talk?" And so she, you know, exchanged number or whatever. And she's like, "Can I talk to you?" And so she calls me, right? And I can't remember how. So she gives out her number, her personal cell number, on her Shop at Home network. So I had her number. I don't know. Anyway, regardless. So we were talking, and when she called me, I answered. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm talking to a movie star." And she was all, "Oh goodness, stop it." And it was just pretty cool. It was cool. Can't wait to meet her. Put a face to the name. Not even that. I just want to meet her. I know what her face looks like. For Pete's sake. For Pete's sake. Okay. I'm gonna go over this side. A little bit more. And so seriously, like, this is how much paint I'm using, whatever's in the lid, and then I just got this little bit of water, so I dip into the paint, then into the water, back into the paint until I get the desired amount of paint on here, and that's when I start my dabbing, my doobie job. There we go. So I'm currently working in my bedroom because we are remodeling this old barn. This is an old barn into a little house, and so we started the process this last fall, and we've come quite far. We've almost completed the whole kitchen, living room, bathroom, and we did do the drywall in the bedroom. Got some cheap carpet. We're gonna get better carpet someday. It's not high on the priority list though. And this summer, I'm hoping this summer, I don't know, but I'm praying this summer we're gonna build a studio for me so that I could do my pottery and do this, and I want to make this a business essentially, is what my overall goal is. And I want to be able to offer the supplies that I'm using on my pieces to you folks so that you can purchase them through me. And then essentially it'll be kind of like a retirement and long term. That's my overall goal. That's what I hope to achieve here. I will, number one, love doing it. And if I commit to making videos and having a website and such, then I'm more apt to actually work on pieces, and then that's going to be a bonus to have an income. I currently work with the Quartz Valley Indian Reservation as a fire administrator, so I work full time. I'm very blessed to have that position. So thankful. this is one of my passions. I'm pretty like creative overall, and I enjoy all things creative. I haven't done it in a very long time, but I used to work with watercolors quite a bit, and pottery. I love pottery. I do have a kiln, electric kiln. It's an old one, but I want to get a newer one someday too. But this right now is my crafting passion that I'm on. Love, love, love. Rusty Nail by Dixie Belle. Yeah, it rhymes. I'm just gonna focus on what's in the lid here. I've got my paper for a dabber. I've got my brush. It's not quite dry, but hopefully it'll be dry enough. Let's give it a whirl. Get some paint on there, not a whole lot, and then we'll dab, 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 so that it kind of looks like that up top, and start here. It's going to start coming in. Brush it a little. And so all these high points here is what I'm trying to focus on. All these like high points. And I don't want a whole lot. It's essentially given the illusion of rust. Hence a rusty nail, the color. It's nice. Yeah, baby, what are you doing?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Filming. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, the folk.
Hi to the folks.
There you are.
Looking good.
You think it's looking similar to the other one?
Similar.
Similar.
But different.
Different.
Yeah.
How's it going up there?
I need to do a lot more research before I dive into that because it has a factory amp, which I didn't take into consideration.
Yeah.
I've never done with a factory amp before.
So you had it all tore apart and you didn't get to do it?
Well, I had all tore apart trying to figure out how to do it with the factory amp.
Okay.
And I don't know how.
So what are you going to do? Study more?
Yeah. And try it next week.
Aww. Is she still here?
Yeah.
Aww, she's sad?
Probably. I would be.
Aww. Well, you don't want to mess it up.
No, not at all.
So I thought the amp came with this situation that she bought.
Her car has
An amp with it, and that's the issue?
Yeah, factory amp, yeah. Because behind the head unit and the stereo, there's no wires going into it. There's like two. And then those get ran out to the factory amp. And then there's a ton of wires on the factory amp.
Oh.
4 different plugins. So I gotta figure it out which ones are which. And then once I figure out where the speaker wires are, then I can get it done. But it'll still take a few hours after that.
Can you see the red? Oh, it looks like a rusty nail, doesn't it? Hi, sister. What are you doing? Oh, I love you. Say hi to the peeps. This is my girl, Cleopatra. Isn't she so pretty? Say hi. Say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. Oh. I just love you so much. She's so perfect. Love you. I love her. I've already applied the Easy Peasy Dixie Belle wax, spray wax. It's the first time I use that product. It's pretty amazing. And then I'm coming in with the Dixie Dirt to just kind of add a little bit of shadowing. I then realized that I needed to lighten up the centers of my appliques with the kudzu. So just a little back and forth till I got my desired look. There's my pretty girl there, oh Miss Cleo, saying hi, spending time with me. She's my baby. A couple little touch-ups here and there, then I finished her off with some copper gilding wax. Time for hardware. I spray painted it with a basic copper spray paint, added it, and that's that. If you like texture, guys, this is your piece. That homemade dab and dust I made really worked out pretty well. I'm pretty impressed with it. I think I'll stick with it.
I got a feeling that this could be a little more than feelings. If I'm being honest, honestly, you got me where you wanted. You got me playing every card, spending all my time trying to find out more about you. 'Cause I really want